This program is presented by Cubica AMF, making bowling amazing.
This is round 2 of the Cubica AMF Masters Stepladder here in the Bowling Promotion Tour, and today we're featuring a rematch of the youth semifinal match, pitting the number 7 seed Consteri versus the number 6 seed Arnois Ambiel. Consteri is hot. She's won her last 3 televised matches. She beat Ambiel in that youth match 236 to 200. Then she went on to beat David Barak, shooting 236 again to claim that youth title. And then she fired 228 against Joe Crook in round 1 of this Cubica AMF Masters Stepladder. Let's have a look at that stepladder. There is the win over Joe Crook. Now she's bowling Ambiel. The winner of this match goes on to bowl Mike DeBoer. Then it's Elisa Hiltunen, Philip Manning, David Barak, and finally it's Kenny Bio in the number 1 seed position. Bio out-averaging the field by about 10 pins a game. So we're looking forward to that final match in this stepladder. Here is our referee getting ready to indicate who goes first, and there is Pepe calling out some kind of aberration on the score, it looks like. And it will be Arnois Ambiel on the left lane to kick us off. He will use that signature purple hammer. He's a two-hander. He's young. He's 17 years old, and Pepe just 21. So a lot of youth talent here in the Bowling Promotion Tour. And let's see how these bowlers attack this oil pattern. It is the Brunswick Gateway Arch pattern, 42 feet, 9.3 to 1, 26 mils. We've only had one match bowled on it, so it should be fairly fresh. And here is Ambiel to kick things off, and whoa, goes Brooklyn. Boy, does that ball pick up in the mid lane. Crosses over for the Brooklyn strike, so a fortunate break, but I don't think he anticipated this level of reaction when he let that go. I think he thought it was a good shot, and that ball just picked up in the mid lane, crossed right over. So that will be a fairly big move to the left for Ambiel the next time he hits this lane. Now here is Pepe Consteri. That's a ball change. That would be an attention star compared to the XL she's been throwing. So she takes that attention star. That's going to go a little bit longer but turn harder on the back end than the XL. And indeed it does. It goes, watch this ball pick up. She gets this down, crosses the 12 board, gets it out to the dry, but it turns way sooner, and it crosses over as well. So both of these players crossing over on their first shot. I think we're seeing maybe a faster breakdown of this pattern than we've seen in the past. And let's see if Pepe can get cross lane, cover up this 6-pin. Not anticipating any problems there, and she does make it. Again, Consteri gets an 8-pin handicap. She has not needed it in any of her matches. She shot 236 scratch in both of her youth matches and just got done shooting 228 scratch, and that was enough to defeat all of her opponents. So let's see how she does here today. She's going to stay with that attention star on the left lane. And again, a very powerful piece from Rotogrip. And she gets it out right down the oil. And there's a perfect flush strike for Consteri. And Consteri known to maybe not start off the fastest, but she's a very strong finisher. She had the back 7 against Ambiel the last time they bowled. She did not even strike until the 6th frame, and then she struck out to win that match. And then against Barak, she threw the back 6 to win that match. So she gets lined up, and she tends to do very, very well late in the match. Here is Ambiel on the right lane. Let's see how he does after crossing over on the first match. He throws it down the oil. Now this one does not hook. Looks like he got it in down the oil a little bit. He tried to, I think, recover it, pull it to the left a little bit. He gets it on the oil, and the ball just skids hydroplanes, as we might call it. So he leaves the 2, 4, 5. So I think maybe that purple hammer a little bit too sensitive to the wet dry here. We saw Joe Crook struggle with his equipment using that Summit. He was getting what we call over-under. If he got it out to the right, he got a little too much hook, and if he got it in too little, and right there is too little hook down the oil, and causes MBL to pick off the 2 and 5 off of the 4 and leaves him open in the second frame. And now, unfortunately, with Consteri's handicap, that's going to leave him in a 20-pin deficit already. Oh, there's a ball change. And let's see what that ball is. He immediately gets out of that purple hammer after 2 questionable shots. Now this goes straight down. Oh, that's an Ocean Vibe. So that's going to be down the 20 board, and it gets down. The oil does not quite pick up, and he leaves a 2-pin. Now he'll go back to the purple hammer and go cross lane and cover up that 2-pin. So MBL fishing around here early on in the match. And indeed, that Ocean Vibe is a more reactive piece than the purple hammer. So hopefully he's looking for a little bit more control over the pocket. Has yet to find the pocket in this match. Now here is Consteri. She's been in command of these matches. Let's see how she does here. See if she makes a move left on this lane, and she does. Gets it out, and unfortunately crosses over again. Comes over to leave the 4-pin. Excuse me, the 6-pin. Crosses over, and this is almost an identical shot she threw last time, only she threw it to that same break point from deeper, and it still picked up and went cross lane. And it was so interesting because she went cross lane, and then MBL in the same lane got into the oil and went light. So not too many pocket shots. We've only had 1 shot in the pocket here out of 6 so far in this round 2 of the Cubica AMF Masters stepladder. And good cover there on the 6-pin. We're back with our 2024-2025 bowling promotion season. Another exciting series of 24 matches for you. This is match 16 of that 24. And here is Peppy on that left lane down the 3rd arrow. She flushed last time and strikes this time. So Peppy not missing on that left lane, but still looking for the range on the right lane. And MBL yet to find the pocket on either lane. And there it is, right over the 3rd arrow, and that ball picks up very nicely. Look at the 6-pin into the sidewall, kicks in the 10, and there is a strike for Consteri. So she's clean, and that's enough for a pretty good lead here. Now watch this ball crossover, and he does get the strike. Boy, MBL is having wild and crazy reactions here. He went back to the purple hammer, and watch this ball pick up in the mid lane and goes screaming across to the Brooklyn side. He gets the mixer, and then a pin comes out and taps out the 8-pin. So he's having a lot of difficulty finding the range, but he finds himself only down 20 pins because Consteri cannot figure out that right lane. And now he throws it way out, and he goes crossover again. Boy, MBL just cannot find the range here. Again, crossing over. He's getting these wild and crazy reactions. We have not seen these lanes react this violently so far, and I wonder if it's something about MBL. Maybe he's a little tight at the release, needs to get through it a little softer, but he leaves the 6-10, and now he'll use the backup ball to convert the 6-10, so good cover there. Again, just a 20-pin match. That includes Consteri's 8-pin handicap. And he says, okay, thank you very much for the spare. All right, time to sit down and regroup. Arnois, you can come back from this, figure out the path to the pocket. And now what's Consteri going to do? Twice in a row she's been Brooklyn on this right lane. She made the move the first time. How much farther is she going to move? And then will she get the dreaded underreaction and miss to the right? We can see that. She got it right. And she flushes it. Beautiful shot there by Consteri. And let's see if we can see where this ball crosses. Again, deeper yet. That crosses around 15, but she was deeper with her feet. Pitches it out to about the 8 board. And watch that ball turn up. That attention star has a beautiful shape when you get it into the right spot on the lane. So there is a double there, and that's going to be a 30-pin lead now for Consteri, as she again bids for her 4th win in a row on TV, the 2nd win in this Cubica AMF Masters stepladder. And again, deep, getting it out. And again, wow, oh my gosh. That left lane, what's happened? That ball just bounced off the dry. And it just, almost like a pool ball, bounced off that dry and ricochets way off to the left. And she's like, what's going on here? And it just banks, misses the head pin left, and leaves the 1, 3, 6, 9 combination. Not something you shoot at very often, and a lot of people would take their spare ball here and go after this. But she's going to move left and try to get the ball around the pocket to make the conversion. And she does throw what she thinks is a strike shot, comes up high, and unfortunately leaves the sole 9-pin for the open. So here is an opening, and look at that ball, comes high. So if the 5-pin were there in the pocket, she might have struck, but with no 5-pin to deflect the ball goes right by the 9-pin. And there's an open for Consteri, leaving her with 114 in the 6th, with her handicap 122 in the 6th. So ironically, if we could figure out how to double here, oh, how about a stone 8 for Ambiel? The first time he hit the pocket in 6 shots, it was a perfect shot. Watch this. He says, I finally figured it out. Okay, good. Come on now. Stone 8. He goes, what's going on here? But just take that in stride. It's okay. Once you find the pocket, things are good. That's a stone 8. Can't do anything about it. And he comes back and converts the 8-pin for no problem there. And I was going to say, if he was able to double, he could get himself within 4, but now he's only down by 15, so he is, believe it or not, catching up. And this is really by virtue of some wild and crazy reactions on both lanes by both these players. And now can Ambiel find the pocket again? And he's down the oil, gets there, gets the strike, finally. There is a much needed strike by Ambiel, and this match is by no means over. And he gets it down the oil, turns it up, let's go! And there we go. Ambiel counts Saulnier Valentin as his coach, who we've seen on previous matches here in the Bowling Promotion Tour. He was a French doubles champion. And there is Pepe on the right lane. Beautiful shot there. I think that's her best shot of the match, quite frankly. Gets it out to the dry perfectly. And watch this cross. Just outside of third arrow, the ball turns up. Absolutely high flush. And that's 10 back right there for Consteri. 15-pin lead as we move into the 8th frame. Again, Consteri looking for her 4th consecutive win on TV, her 2nd win in this Cubica AMF Masters stepladder. Consteri looking for her 3rd title of these games. She won the women's doubles with Elisa Hiltunen. And again, high in the high, blows past the break point and comes high. And let's see if she can convert this 3-6. And again, she's left. She says, slow down. Look at this crazy reactions we're getting by both this Purple Hammer, which is not a crazy reacting ball, and this Attention Star. And now Pepe will go across lane for the 3-6 combination. And indeed, makes the conversion there, no chop. So here's the situation. If Ambiel can strike once, he gets within 5 pins. If he could strike twice here, he would take the lead in this match. a tough match where both bowlers are getting some very unexpected reactions here in this Gateway Arch oil pattern. MBL was Joe Crook's partner in the men's doubles, and they got beat by Kenny B.O. and David Barak, who started with the front 9 against them. So he's got a second here, and he comes high and can't quite get the carry. Leaves the 4-pin. So whenever MBL seems to have a chance to chip into this lead, he can't seem to do it. He's like, could you stay? He did not leave the 4-10 split, which is good. But he leaves the 4-pin, and he's running out of frames here to catch up to a very tough Pepe Consteri. Okay, 15-pin match, 2 frames to go. And let's see how we do here. Again, this left lane has been wild and crazy reaction for both players. Consteri's crossed over 3 times. Very unusual reaction for her. And let's see. Oh, and he comes up high again. Gets it out to a pretty good spot, we thought, but it comes up high. And that's another 4-pin for MBL. You can see the crowd watching the ball as it goes down. You can see Marc Chavet there in the back. Shout out to Bruno Bidone and Marc Chavet. They do the French commentary for these matches. My name is Bruce Hall. I'm your international commentator. And here is MBL cross lane for the spare. Okay, here's the situation. 196 maximum for MBL. And Pepe Consteri pacing to 202 with her handicap. So 2 marks here with decent count will do it for Pepe. But let me tell you, with these crazy reactions, we never know what's going to happen here. Let's see how she does here on this right lane where she has crossed over twice. And she's flushed it as well. And there's another perfect strike. Boy, it's feast or famine, it seems, for Pepe, as she either hits the pocket and carries or crosses over. And again, over 15. Perfect break point. Look at that turn up. Absolutely 10 back. Picture perfect. And a very good shot there. Consteri, of course, a full-time PWBA member, and showing that medal here in these matches. Okay, Mark to clean up this match and lock it up and move on to face Mike DeBoer. And let's way out to the right and gets it up. Oh, very fortunate to just leave a 2-pin. She didn't want to cross over again. The last time she had a runaway Brooklyn shot, so she made sure she got it to the right. Very fortunate not to leave the 10-pin along with that 2-pin, and now leaves herself a very makeable spare, and that's all she needs to lock up this match. And she's just got to go straight at this 2-pin, and then there is nothing MBL can do. And routine, beautiful shot there, great cover, and this will do it. She needs only 5 pins to lock up this match. Congratulations to, oh, she knew it too. Congratulations to Consteri. She knows the score. And she will move on, looking for her 5th match in a row, 5th win in a row. She'll need 5 or 6 more wins. Unfortunately, she wants this Masters title. But the way she's going, boy, she's just unstoppable. And we're just looking for 5. And there's a much-needed strike there on that right lane. And that will give her 194 scratch, 202 with her handicap. So this might be the first match where she actually needed her handicap to win. But look at her get out, gets that ball back to the pocket, mixes them up, and there we go. So here is we'll just have, and there he finally gets some carry over there, does MBL. And if he strikes again, it will mean that he can win the game scratch. But Pepe does get that 8 pins of handicap, and that will be the difference, it looks like, if MBL can strike again. Stay tuned for Marc Chavet's interview after this match, and stay tuned for our round 3 of this Cubica AMF Masters stepladder on this same channel. And he does flush the pocket there, and this is going to look like a pretty close match. Unfortunately, Ambiel really never threatened. He was unable to put strikes together. He had a chance in the 5th frame and in the 8th to put doubles together to try to put some pressure on Pepe. Just couldn't get it done. Just had too much of a wild and crazy reaction, and finally settles in here at the end of the game. And he does strike out for a nice 196. Unfortunately, not going to be enough, and a good match there. So we'll look at some statistics here, and then we'll be on to the interview with Marc Chavet, and hopefully we'll see you back here for round 3 of the Cubica AMF stepladder. There it is, 194 to 196, but we add 8 to Consteri's total, giving her 202, and that is a victory for Pepe Consteri. And there's the 202 with the handicap in. They each had 6 strikes, and they each had about an equal number of spares and opens, but both players crossing over and having some wild and crazy reactions on this oil pattern. So good match by both players, and we will see you back here for round 3 of the Cubica AMF stepladder. It will be Pepe Consteri versus Mike DeBoer, and looking forward to that on the same channel. And here is Marc Chavet's interview.
The post-match interview here with Arénoui Ambiel, the French player, 17 years of age, of course, going up against Pepe Consteri, giving us some insight as to what happened. Arénoui, c'est vrai que là, on est passé pas loin finalement d'une victoire. He almost was able to get the win. Unfortunately, it didn't go his way today.
Bah, il manque Siki. Siki, c'est une fermeture. Et bah voilà, j'ai pas fait le taf. J'ai été très tendu, très stressé. Et je vais travailler mon mental et je reviendrai, comme j'ai dit, plus fort l'année prochaine. Et je vais travailler tout pour dépasser mes limites. Et on verra l'année prochaine.
6 points, the gap between the win and the loss. Unfortunately, I didn't have the mental game to take it all the way. That's something I'm going to work on as soon as I leave this interview, and I'll be back next year with a vengeance. We're going to work on the mental side of the game. Indeed, c'est vrai que c'était très serré comme ça. Il y avait peut-être des opportunités pour performer, mais avoir la capacité d'optimiser ces situations lorsqu'elles se présentent, ça aussi, c'est une faculté qu'il faut développer dans le temps finalement.
Oui, bah après c'est une première pour moi et c'était vraiment une belle expérience. Et je vais m'entraîner vraiment dur pour y arriver et je reviendrai plus fort pour aller chercher la victoire l'année prochaine et dépasser mes limites, comme je l'ai dit. Mais voilà, je reviendrai plus fort et on verra bien l'année prochaine.
So Arénoui telling us it's the first time he's on TV finals as well, so there's added pressure to be performing with the lights, the cameras, the audience in attendance and so on. But he's going to work on that indeed. 17 years of age, young talent out of the Paris region here in France. Great to see him indeed evolve at such a high level, and I look forward to seeing him in the future as well. Let's bring on Pepe, the winner of this matchup again 2 years ago. Remember, we had the American champions who were here. We had Liz Johnson, we had Lindsay Boomershine, we had Danielle McEwen. They were all here on this very bowling alley indeed, and Pepe is kind of emulating Liz from 2 years ago, as Liz did just win match after match. She ended up indeed with fatigue towards the end of the tournament, but she did go. The stepladder system allows for that to happen. Pepe, one of those questions is, how do you guys manage the fatigue that you generate match after match out there?
I mean, you just have to think one match at a time. And personally, I'm used to bowling a lot of games. In Finland, we do bowl a lot of competitions. So in a way, that's not a problem for me. I'm used to it, but it's just something you have to practice on.
So there was a slight difference, matchup number 1 against Joe Crook. There was a little emotional thing happening there. And then now this one is all business. Just keep getting those strikes.
Yeah, all business. Well, I was able to go back to my bubble, not think about playing against a friend. And we'll see.